These are my mother and my brothers. Whoever does the will of God is brother and sister and mother to me.
Fellow Augustinians, just a moment, we'll be professing the solemn vow of poverty, obedience, the evangelical vows. I'm sure that this marks the end of your initial formation, but I am also sure that you are not yet holy. You remain a human being. The vows will be very significant if you realize that you are not holy. Because you profess, you ask the church to follow Christ more closely. Because we want to learn to love the caller, and that is Jesus Christ. He is the only God who can satisfy our longing. Be sure that though today ends the initial formation, just be sure that you are called by God. No pretensions, but you are sure of your vocation. God is calling you. The lover is calling you to love Him and to follow Him, the interior teacher of our hearts. Yes, you have studied a lot for several years, yet what you've studied, what you've learned, will not be enough in becoming holy, because only God can make us holy. Our lives become blessed if we trust in the Lord. And that's the responsorial psalm. All who trust the Lord are blessed indeed. We may show to the world that we are holy, but God knows our limitations. Our holiness depends on how sure we are with our vocation. If we believe that God has called us, then we trust Him. In order for us to deepen our faith in God and act on our faith, like the first Christian community, they give everything that they have because they trust in the Lord. You cannot give what you possess if you don't trust providence or the power of the lover who called you to serve Him. If you don't trust God or the lover, then surely it's a failure. In following Christ, we follow Christ because we believe that we learn in following Him, and this consecration, this life of consecration, is a lifetime pledge. Unless if you ask for dispensation, no? But this profession is lifetime because we want to follow Christ more closely, and we want our life to be holy. And in following Christ, our lives become holy, dependent on His love and our actions, our trust in Him. We can only deepen our faith if we trust in the Lord and love Him as our response to His calling to love Him. Faith is dead, there is no action. So how can we perform? How can we deepen our faith? How can we act on the faith that we have? It's only following the teachings of our interior master or teacher, and that is Jesus Christ. how relevant is our life now? We have a lot of problems. Is it relevant? It is very much relevant. Vocation, Christian vocation is very much relevant in times of not only pandemic but in hardships and sufferings. There is meaning in our calling if we see the problems around us. We can measure our faith, and based on our faith, we act on it. That's why during times of problems, during times of sufferings, holy men and women come out. During wars, during pandemic, we can see holy men, not because they're very much every day and every minute they're praying, but because their action is based on the fundamental call of their faith to act against the evil. And this is why we follow Christ, because we want to see meaning in our life. And God has called us in these very dark times in our lives. God has called us to share His light, for us to become hope to others. And so, my brothers and sisters, all of you, the church, the community, we continue to pray for our brothers, the 5 brothers that we have here in front of us. Because following Christ is not easy. Because, yes, we profess to follow Him, but our freedom is still there. We are not holy. We are not angels. Even angels fall. Diba? That is why we need prayers. We continue to pray for them. And you, my brothers, kayong 5, continue to pray. Because to follow Christ is not easy. And to be holy depends on God alone. Depends on the lover that we responded to love. And our love would deepen our faith, and we act for the good of the community and of the world. I hope, my brothers and sisters, that this event, this celebration would give us a memory and a reminder to all of us that God is calling each of us, each one of us, calling to follow Him, so that our lives will become holy and meaningful. But it depends on how we respond, we answer to the call of God. And we are grateful for these 5 brothers that have ended their initial formation, and be sure to know that you continue with your journey as a consecrated person to follow Christ more closely in the midst of darkness and hardships in life.